Let's start by would you give a brief introduction of yourself for the audience?
I'd be happy to. Well, my name is Ron Gunnell, and I am the president of the Garibay Institute based in Los Angeles, even though I live in Salt Lake City, Utah. I'm also the global envoy for the world-renowned Tabernacle Choir and its leadership, the choir presidency. And one of my roles as the global envoy for the Tabernacle Choir is to promote music and peace and love around the world. So in 2 weeks, I will be in Buenos Aires, Argentina, and so along with the choir and the orchestra. The choir is comprised of 400 singers, all volunteers, and an orchestra, also all volunteers. You can imagine these people have their day jobs, but they rehearse twice a week. And of course, an iconic choir. They've sung at 7 U.S. presidential inaugurations, and they've traveled all over the world. So, for an example, last February, we were in Lima, Peru. And before that, we were in Manila, Philippines. And before that, we were in Mexico. And so in February, we're going to Sao Paulo, Brazil. So a very traveled choir promoting music and love. And similar to the Garibay Institute, who is also through soft diplomacy and through music and other avenues promoting this idea of soft diplomacy and public policy.
You said you've been to India about, 78 times?
78 times, if you can believe it. Yeah.
So what's your favorite part about India?
Oh, probably my most favorite part, of course, is the people. I started my first trip in southern India. I went to Chennai, and then south of Chennai, about an hour and a half, to a leprosy colony. And I was introduced to really the poorest of the poor in India. And my heart was so moved by the children I saw at these colonies that I became part of an organization called Rising Star Outreach. And we build schools and board children of leprosy-affected families. And I've been doing that for almost 19 years. So it's fun now to see these children who were little come to the school, graduate and go to college, become nurses, doctors, and whereas before they were in the poorest of poor conditions in the leprosy colony. So it's been a really touching project to be involved in. And it opened the world to many other ventures in the country, from business and academia. I met Raul and Dr. Karad back in 2018. And I was invited to be one of the main speakers for their Parliament conference held every October. And I did that in 2019. So I've been officially working with the university since then.
So you've been here today for a social leadership development program. So what motivated you to be part of this social leadership development program?
Well, because if I had known now what I hoped and wished I had known when I was a student, I've really felt the importance of promoting this dialogue of interpersonal relationship skills. Probably the most valuable thing a student can learn. And I don't care if you're, an engineer or a doctor or whatever, interpersonal skills is really at the heart of success, in my opinion.
So I'm an engineer, and I believe that if I don't have the skills to talk to you, how do I present any of my ideas, right? Totally. Yeah. Actually, this is the exact same thing that Garibay sir said. And I see you share a close connection to him.
Well, I'm president of the Institute.
True.
And so our philosophy is very similar actually to the general who spoke today, about having kind of a spiritual root of what we do. And even though the Institute is agnostic in the sense that we do not cater to any religion or politic, we remain neutral. We try to find the bridges that bring people together. And one of the greatest things we've found, of course, is music does that. It's kind of the international language of acceptance. I just got back from China 2 weeks ago, and the whole 2 weeks I was there was promoting music with the Chinese government, and they're very open to it. So,
music is a huge part, I think, all over the world, especially in India.
right.
Yeah. Who are your favorite Indian music artists? Have you?
Well, I'm very pleased to tell our viewers that just a week ago, I was with Rahman in Los Angeles. We are good friends. I was in his home in Chennai last year, and I'm helping him with his U.S. foundation. And he's, of course, right now on a USA tour, and asked me, and Fernando, actually, we both went and saw his concert and met him afterwards. And yeah, he's become a good friend. And so we do envision AR helping us in our work as the Institute goes forward. And I view, hopefully, him as a global ambassador for the Institute.
Funnily enough, I think you answered my next question. My next question was, are there any collaborative ideas or initiatives that you're hoping to develop in India?
Well, this would be one of them.
Yeah.
Would be music with the helps of Rahman. I think we're also looking at who else is a national treasure here in India. AR, of course, is a demagogue here, but I'm sure there's a couple of other national treasures that we need to meet and look at. I spent a lot of time today talking with the general. We do help governments, particularly in the areas of cybersecurity and national defense. And the reason for that is a lot of countries who are protecting their citizens get burned out with the complexity of artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, and defending their nation. And so, for example, we've been asked to help soldiers and military leaders understand the connection between cybersecurity and the heart. And how do you crack the code to make sure that they're balanced? Because sometimes in the military, they're so focused on defense that they lose sight of these core values that are really important to all of us. So I would describe it as understanding artificial intelligence, which is AI, and emotional intelligence, which is EI.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Absolutely. So let's come back to SLDP. So what is one key takeaway that you hope students take away from your speech today? Or
my speech yesterday? Well, again, I really encourage students to, no matter what their major is, no matter what their emphasis of their education is to understand that artificial intelligence is coming in a big way. And if we don't prepare ourselves emotionally, spiritually, the personal roots that I think India is known for, and learn how to mesh that with artificial intelligence and what it can do for us, it'll be a challenge for people to survive, because AI will overtake a lot of things. So we want to make sure that at the root of every student is this personal commitment and condition that goes back to the heart. AI cannot interpret feelings. It cannot interpret the heart. So we want to always keep that balance. The great things that our artificial intelligence will do for us, and then mesh it with our heart.
Yeah.
So
it takes me back to that one movie with Will Smith in it called iRobot, where AI takes over the world. That's all I can imagine in my head right now. Yeah. Okay. So what advice would you give to young Indians who aspire to lead both creatively and on a global stage with purpose?
Well, I think I mentioned it earlier. I keep emphasizing it because without interpersonal skills, you're not going to go very far. And so there's some people that's a challenge to do that. Their personalities may be very accountant-like or numbers or, whatever it is. But for those that I think have a challenge a little bit with interpersonal skills, I'd encourage them to take a communication class, talk to a psychologist or a therapist and say, how can I improve this part of my being? I'm a smart mathematician or I'm a smart accountant. It's these interpersonal skills I'm not very good at. Where can I learn that? And hopefully we encourage a university which is probably really happening very well here, is teaching those fundamental skills.
Thank you so much here for